Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today. Walter here at the workbench. So, before I get into the next plane, I wanted to mention a little project that I'm working on. I'm working on restoring my old basement door. It's just an old board and batten, been there for 145 years, leaks like a sieve. So, I've made new stop molding, but it doesn't fit tight. So, someone came and suggested I use these cushiony weather strips. This one I have removed the rubber gasket from it because I don't like the plastic. And so I need to make some stop molding over the weekend. And it's that's about 1 inch. So it could be an inch, inch and a quarter. And it's about 5/16 inch thick. I'll check my spacing and see if I can go with 3/8. Why 3/8? Well, there's a slot in the middle here that gasket material fits into, and that's 1/8. So if I could go with 3/8, that give me an eighth of an inch of wood on either side. That would make me happy, but can I go with less? Apparently, because the plastic is less. So that's one thing I was working on. The other thing was I went to a machinist friend up in New York State, just over the border, and brought him up the two Chinese blades that I acquired earlier this year. And I asked him if he could grind them flat. I mean, flat to somewhere under 3/32. So 0.09375 or less. I said, it doesn't have to be a lot less, but just if you can use that as tolerance. Plus zero, minus a few thousand. So we were talking, and I brought this one with me as well. This is 2 3/8. I said, "Can we make these?" He said, "Yeah, we can make them. We have a heat treating company nearby." Okay. He said, "The problem is, they warp all over the place when you heat treat them." I said, "Yeah, I know that." So we start with thicker material, heat treat it, machine the bevel, machine the hole in the slot, and then send it off for heat treatment. And hopefully when it comes back, it just needs to be touched up on the surface grinder. He said, "Yeah." He said, "What I'm going to do with yours is what I do with anything that's thinner is I put sticky tape down on the surface grinder. Then I place your item down on it. Then I turn the magnet on, and then I turn the magnet off." He said, "The reason I turn the magnet off is because the sticky tape will hold it in place. We'll grind one side flat, we'll flip it over, do the same thing, grind the other side flat." So I explained to him that the key face to be perfectly flat, or the second face to grind, is the cutting edge face. Okay. So he said, if you rely on just the magnet, what will happen to the alloy is the magnetism pulls the alloy down and changes the molecular structure ever so slightly, so that when you take the magnet off, it bounces back, he says, and it will no longer be flat. So you wonder why when we get blades, and these are mass-produced blades, but when we get our cutting irons and any other metallic object that's been on a magnetic base, there's going to be a certain amount of spring back. And we've talked about with castings, you take hot molten cast iron. I don't care if it's gray cast iron or if it's ductile cast iron. You pour it in a mold. The mold has a certain amount of excess material on the casting so that it can be machined off. But if you don't allow enough time for the stresses to relieve in the casting, as you machine it, those stresses will relieve. So it's a lot like woodworking in that regard. We plane one side of a board flat, we flip it over, we plane the other side flat, and then the first side is no longer flat. Not completely, because it moves, stresses are relieved. So I thought that interesting. And that he's an old time machinist, has a small shop, not a whole bunch of CNC. He has some numerically controlled machine, but not a bunch of fancy modern whirligigs, you know. But I just thought I'd share that with you. So, project of the weekend: make some stop molding, insert the gasket material, and put them in place. And the reason why I don't like the plastic is because it's plastic. And number two, it's an old door, and I want to leave the wood raw so that it can weather. I want it to just oxidize. I may even spray vinegar on it. I don't know. Um, I may spray lye on it. I don't know. Just want it to weather and just let it be itself. And then in the future, if somebody wants to paint it, Yankee Doodle. So there you go. I hope you're having a great day, and I appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Walter out. Oh, and by the way, stay tuned. This is the next plane up on the inspection block.